So someone wrote a comment that I want to respond to. The person said, I want to write here because I don't know where else to put this. I felt really down and unmotivated, tired and frankly depressed for the past couple months. And I feel like it's hard to keep trying to find some sort of enlightened state where these emotions aren't there. When I feel those emotions, I feel terrified and I don't know what to do. I feel confused all day and I realize that I'm here for a couple seconds and then it feels like I disappear again. So you feel like you're present and then you feel like the autopilot of the ego is taking over again. And then I wake up a week later and I don't know what I did for the past week. I just want a feeling of stability, but I don't know where to find it. It's hard to just let go because it feels like I have a brick in my body weighing me down. I really understand where you're coming from. I know that feeling. I was haunted by that feeling. So here's what I did about that feeling. I really gave up trying to find that enlightened state. You were saying that it's hard to find a kind of enlightened state in which those feelings aren't there anymore. That's an act of the ego. It's called suppression. Don't suppress. It's not your job to get rid of that feeling. Enlightenment means you just acknowledge that it's not your job to do anything at all. It's not your business to get rid of that feeling. Just tell the universe that it has to do something about it. It's not your job. So, but I know it's hard. It feels like a break in your chest, as you said. It feels like tightness there. It feels like it's like a disease. It's like a symptom. It's not the sickness itself. It's not the disease itself. The disease is called ego and control, but that thing in the chest is just a symptom. So you said you want some enlightened state where these emotions aren't there. Allow those emotions to be there. I'm not going to give you a trick or a tip on how to get rid of these emotions. But maybe if I sense it right, you are feeling confused, as you say, you're feeling confused, and then you're probably watching non-duality people. And those non-duality teachers and people, they're saying just let it be, just let it go, just don't control, just be open. And your mind wants to find some kind of focal point. It wants to know what to do. And I understand that. I don't want to tell you that you shouldn't do that, because at a certain stage, I think it's totally valid to have a technique. If your mind is racing, and it's loud and it's confused and it's chaotic, then I think it's totally valid to have an anchor, to have a focal point, to just know that whenever you're just waiting for the bus, or you're waiting for someone, or you're just here sitting somewhere and you have nothing to do, then it's totally okay to just know in that moment that you should be aware of your breath. Because being aware of your breath gives your mind the feeling that it's doing it right. And as the mind is kind of satisfied with this practice, the rest of your being can just be and learn to get into that state of being. But as you are aware of your breath, don't suppress anything that comes up. I was also like that. It's just I was feeling a lot of tension there, and then I didn't want to have that tension. It's just a natural urge that was arising in me. I was just saying I don't want to have that urge, and those spiritual teachers and gurus tell me that suffering disappears as soon as you find your true nature, and your true nature is something that is already here, so you cannot do anything to find it. And that's was devastating for the ego, because I cannot do anything about it and it's already here. It's what they say, but I don't have any evidence, and no matter what I do or no matter what I let go of, the pain is still there. So I know that feeling. And it started to get better as soon as I, uh, was becoming honest with myself, and I was finding out that actually I want to have an anchor. I want to have a technique. I need a technique right now. I know the highest truth is that there is no technique, it's not needed, but there is a certain stage in which it is okay to have a technique. And you can choose, you can just be aware here with your awareness, put your awareness between the eyebrows, put your awareness on the breath. And as you are aware of this, the mind is satisfied. It has something to do. It's like the monkey mind. Give the monkey a banana and it's satisfied. It's no longer asking for a method because you gave it a method and now it's happy with doing this thing. So you feel that's what gives you a sense of stability in the beginning. It's totally valid to do something like that. But as you're doing this, what's going to happen is thoughts are still going to come, and it's not your job to get rid of those thoughts. When you're feeling distracted by thought, it's like, okay, as soon as you're aware that you have been distracted by thoughts, you're aware again. So staying aware is not something that you need to do with tension, but when you feel distracted by thoughts and you wake up to it, then you're already aware again. So you can put your awareness back to the breath. And when feelings are there, so that means that you don't suppress thoughts. When they come up and it feels like you're being distracted by them, you are already awake to it. So therefore you're not distracted anymore. As soon as you know that you're distracted, you're not distracted anymore. So, and also feelings are going to come up, and it feels like heaviness there. And when that's there, also just can help to say in your mind, that's allowed to be. And I mean that. People like Krishnamurti would disagree because that's a technique that's from the center, but I truly believe that there is a certain stage in which things like that are allowed to just say in your mind. As soon as there is a tension, you feel that tension, and you're allowed to say in your mind that this feeling is allowed to be here. And then you tune into that statement. It's allowed to be here. Nobody's here to do anything about it. It's just here. It's like a guest. Do what you want. The feeling is here, and I'm not going to do anything about it. And that thing can give you a sense of stability, so you can become aware of your breath. And when thoughts distract you, as soon as you find out that you have been distracted, you're aware again, you can go back to the breath. When a negative feeling is arising, you can just say it's okay. And I mean that a negative feeling is arising, or it's already there, and for the first time in your life, you tell that feeling, instead of go away, I want to become enlightened, I don't want to feel like that, you tell the feeling it's okay, you're a part of my experience right now, I'm not going to fight you, but it's okay that you are here. So, and by doing that, you can then slowly come into a state in which you feel, even though it's painful, things are allowed to be. Your mind, when it's asking for a method, you just tell the mind, be aware of the breath, and then you just do that. Okay? But when you feel more stability in yourself, what you can do then is stop doing. Because you find out that you don't have to, that the mind is no longer demanding a method, and therefore it's just okay to just not have a method. So therefore thoughts are allowed to distract you. Why are they allowed to distract you? Because you find out that there is no you that can be distracted. It's like, first, you feel like you're a wave, and that wave wants to have stability. Okay, you can have that stability, but as soon as the wave has the experience of being stable, then all of a sudden something happens, and the wave realizes that actually, I don't have to be stable. There's a whole ocean, and it's me. So you don't have to be attentive all the time. You can just be. And then thoughts come and thoughts go, feelings come and the feelings go. And also that feeling doesn't feel like you are the one that has to carry that burden of dealing with that feeling. Actually, the pain of the feeling is not the feeling itself, but the feeling that you have to do something about it. It's like you're carrying this heavy rock. The rock is not the problem is that you're holding it. So when you're no longer paying attention to the rock, it's just, it falls off. So you said, and then I wake up a week later and I don't know what I did for the past week. Just sit down, just sit down somewhere, and if you want, if you feel ready, just be there. Just don't think that you have to do something about yourself. Maybe that's the reason why you do have so much tension, because you probably go to work or to school, and then you go home, and then you still have to do things at home, and then you have relationships with people, and then even when you have a little bit of time with yourself, then you're even wasting that time by trying to change who you are, by trying to change your feelings, by trying to change your thoughts. But I totally understand if when the pain and the inner chaos is so strong, then it's totally valid to have a focal point. But at some point it's no longer needed, and you can just use your free time to just be with yourself. I'm sitting here and I'm meditating, but I swear I'm not doing anything. It's just being. And then you realize that everything happens by itself. There's no center of control needed. It's like, try to beat your heart. Really put an effort to beat your heart. And if you really go into that feeling, you can feel like, oh, I'm trying. I'm beating my heart. I hope it doesn't stop. And then you realize, oh, I don't have to do anything. It's just beating. It happens by itself. So that's boring to the ego. So I don't have a job anymore. I can't beat my heart. Okay, there's a feeling. I have to do something about that feeling. It's very uncomfortable. Feels like brutal tension in the chest. I have to do something about it. Until you realize that actually, I don't have to do anything about that feeling. It's there. I don't have to feel it. It's being felt automatically. It's like listening. You don't have to listen. You can just realize that listening is something that happens automatically. So all of that effort is just, you find out that the effort that you're putting in is just, it's not needed. Life is still happening. But I think you are at a point right now where it can be really, beneficial for, you're in a stage where the ego maybe be very thankful to have a certain kind of method. Just sit down every day, sit on a chair or on your couch and become aware of the breath. Just for not an hour of pure focus and concentration, but just be aware of 3 breaths, and then allow thoughts to take you away, and then become aware of that, then come back, and then there's a strong sense of pain, suffering, stress, and then just say, it's okay, it's allowed to be there. I don't have to intervene with that, and then go back to the breath. It's okay. And until you realize that actually you don't have to change anything, you can even let go of the breath, and then you're just being effortlessly. Pain is here, maybe pleasure is here, noises are here, sensations, and you give up. You give up your will. And if your mind says something like, but I have an appointment tomorrow and I don't know what I should say, or maybe I'm going to be too tired and depressed, and then the person is going to think like I'm strange or something like that. Just and then the mind reminds you of that, and then the mind is stressing out about it and tries to do something about it right now. So it's sucking even more energy out of you. So in trying to be as good as possible in that appointment tomorrow, it's sucking your energy so that you're going to be even worse. You see how it's fighting against itself. So you can just remind yourself that I don't have to make sure that it's going to be all right tomorrow. It's not my job. It's the job of life. It's not my job. And then you just relax. They're really not my job. So what I'm basically trying to say is, don't worry. Uh, Even the fact that you're worrying right now, don't change it. When I'm saying don't worry, I'm not saying that you should take your worry and undo it. I'm saying there's worry, allow it. Don't worry about worrying, and let it be. And trust that there is a deeper intelligence than your own, and it's going to take care of your life. It is already taking care of your life. You have never made a decision in your life. Decisions have been made for you. It is the ego that claims, I've done this, I've succeeded there and I've failed there. But it's a lie. Just know that, the mind is asking for a method. Give it the breath or the third eye or whatever. Choose what you want, what feels right. Means if it's demanding a certain technique, then give it the breath. Be aware of your breath. Okay, so it's satisfied. As you're being there, just trust that the underlying intelligence of life is already carrying you. As the ego is trying to find control, give it the breath and know that control is actually not needed. So it's like Alan Watts was talking about this when a kid thinks that it's in control of the car, but it's just a toy, toy steering wheel, and life is actually here on the left. It's the dad of the kid is actually driving. The kid feels like I have to make sure that I'm driving right until you realize it's not my job. It's not your job to get rid of those emotions. It's not your job to try and find some sort of enlightened state. But your mind is demanding a technique, so you can give the mind a technique, but not to get to some point through the technique. It's not like training. It's not that when you want to build muscles, then you make push-ups, then over time you get better and stronger. It's not the same with meditation and being aware of something. Meditation is totally different than training. In meditation, there's no improvement. Because when you're working out, then you're putting in effort to become better at it. Okay, that's what's happening in training, for example. But when you're meditating, it's different. Meditation means giving up all control. But because the mind is demanding control, you give it something that has absolutely no purpose, but at least there's a sense of control, so you are aware of the breath. Being aware of the breath doesn't get you anywhere, and that's the goal. It's just that the mind thinks, now finally I have something to do. I know what to do. I'm aware of the breath. But not because the breath is going to take you somewhere, but it's just so the mind is shutting up. It's no longer asking for a better method. And when you're aware of the breath, then there comes a time when you realize that I don't need to be aware of the breath anymore. I can just be, and I don't have to do anything. I don't have something to do, there's no method that's needed right now, and I'm just being. And as you're just being, you will realize that life is taking care of you, not the other way around. That was a long video, but I hope this helps. So just, and I'm not speaking to you with the intention that you're going to instantly have a better feeling. You say you feel unmotivated, tired, and depressed. I'm saying embrace the feeling of being unmotivated, tired, and depressed, because that's just life telling you that you need rest. You need to just rest and relax and chill and see what happens when you're no longer trying to control everything. I was in that stage too, and it will end. But you can have a better experience right now if you just allow the negativity. Because when there's negativity and you try to fight negativity, then that's just putting fire into fire. And that's going to, intensify the pain. But if there's pain, and you just look at pain, or you don't have to look at pain. That's not a method. You can look away from pain, or you can just end looking, and there's still pain. Doesn't matter. Allow pain to be there. There's nothing to do with pain. You just allow it. The mind is asking for a method. What should I do about this pain? Breath. Okay. But what about this pain? Breath. But this appointment tomorrow? Breath. There's pain. I allow it. And then the pain feels like, okay, now I finally do have space to be. And then it's healing. It's allowed. It's healing. No stress anymore. And then it's all right. And then the pain will disappear, but that's not the goal. The goal is to know that no matter what is right now, you don't have to do anything about it. Life will handle it for you. That's the liberation. Understanding that there is no I that has to handle life, but it's life that's handling the I. I hope that helped in some way. All right.